Major League Baseball and the entire sports world are in mourning. Ryne Sandberg, a name synonymous with grit, passion, and excellence on the baseball diamond, has passed away at the age of 65 after a long and courageous battle with prostate cancer. The heartbreaking news was confirmed by the Chicago Cubs, the team with which Sandberg carved out his legendary Hall of Fame career and etched his name forever into the hearts of fans across generations. It was Monday when the Cubs made the somber announcement, sending a wave of shock and sadness throughout the baseball community and beyond. Their post on X, formerly Twitter, was brief but poignant, a fitting reflection of Sandberg's quiet dignity and humility. The message, though heavy, carried with it the echo of a man who was not just a player, but a symbol of dedication, resilience, and sportsmanship. Ryne Sandberg was a hero to a generation of Chicago Cubs fans and will be remembered as one of the all-time greats in nearly 150 years of this historic franchise, said Tom Ricketts, the chairman of the Cubs, in a heartfelt statement that spoke not only to Sandberg's baseball career but to the character of the man behind the uniform. His dedication to and respect for the game, along with his unrelenting integrity, grit, hustle, and competitive fire were hallmarks of his career. He was immensely proud of his teammates and his role as a global ambassador of the game of baseball, but most of all, he was proud of Margaret, his children, and his role as husband, father, and grandfather. Indeed, Ryne Sandberg's journey in professional baseball wasn't one paved with overnight fame or ease. Born on September 18, 1959, in Spokane, Washington, Sandberg showed early promise in multiple sports. He was a natural athlete, and though he had opportunities in football as a highly recruited quarterback, it was baseball where his heart lay. That passion carried him into the 20th round of the 1978 MLB draft, selected by the Philadelphia Phillies, an unassuming start for someone who would later ascend into baseball royalty. Sandberg made his MLB debut with the Phillies in 1981, appearing in just 13 games. His time there was short-lived but fateful, for in one of the most lopsided trades in baseball history, he was sent to the Chicago Cubs in 1982. The Phillies, focused on immediate returns, could not have foreseen what they were giving up. That trade would not only change the trajectory of Sandberg's life, but it would forever reshape the Cubs organization. In Chicago, Sandberg found his home, his rhythm, and his purpose. Wearing the iconic Cubs uniform, he blossomed into one of the most dominant second basemen in the history of the game. From 1982 to 1997, with a brief retirement between 1994 and 1996, he gave everything to the Cubs and their devoted fans. His accomplishments speak for themselves: 10 All-Star selections, 9 Gold Glove Awards, 7 Silver Slugger Awards, and the coveted 1984 National League Most Valuable Player Award. That year, he also treated fans to what would come to be known as the Sandberg Game, a nationally televised matchup against the St. Louis Cardinals where he hit 2 game-tying home runs off the great Bruce Sutter. That performance catapulted him into stardom and became a defining moment in Cubs lore. Sandberg wasn't flashy. He didn't boast. But what he lacked in outward bravado, he made up for in relentless preparation and quiet leadership. He played the game with a timeless respect, approaching each inning, each at-bat, each defensive play with the seriousness of a man who saw the sport as both art and duty. To watch Sandberg turn a double play or connect with a line drive was to witness a master craftsman at work, deliberate, graceful, and commanding. Fans admired him for his consistency and work ethic. Teammates respected him for his unwavering focus and selflessness. Coaches trusted him. Opponents feared him, not in the way you fear an unpredictable powerhouse, but in the calm inevitability of knowing that if you gave him the slightest opportunity, he'd make you pay. He wasn't a man who sought out the spotlight, but the spotlight found him, and he bore it with quiet strength. In 2005, in recognition of his extraordinary career, Sandberg was inducted into the National Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. His induction speech, like his playing days, was humble and moving. He spoke about the importance of respecting the game, of honoring the fans, of maintaining integrity even when no one's watching. His words resonated not just with baseball enthusiasts, but with anyone who had ever valued discipline, loyalty, and humility. It was a moment of deep pride, not only for him, but for the countless fans who had watched him play over the years and had come to see him as something more than a ballplayer. He was an example, a role model, a pillar. Nearly 2 decades later, in 2024, the Chicago Cubs honored him once again, this time with a bronze statue at Wrigley Field. The statue stood tall and proud, a physical testament to his enduring legacy, capturing the quiet confidence that defined his playing days. For the Cubs, the gesture wasn't just about preserving the memory of a legend, it was a way to say thank you. Thank you for the years of service. Thank you for the leadership. Thank you for making Cubs baseball something to believe in during an era of heartbreaks and hope. But Sandberg's story was not without pain. In January 2024, fans were shaken when Sandberg publicly announced he had been diagnosed with prostate cancer. Despite the grim prognosis, he approached his illness as he had approached every challenge in his life, with determination, optimism, and grace. In August of that same year, hope surged when he revealed that treatment had cleared him of cancer. The news was met with collective joy from the baseball community, a shared sigh of relief that perhaps the man who had given so much might finally receive a break from life's cruelest tests. Tragically, it wasn't to last. By December, Sandberg shared the heartbreaking news that his cancer had returned. Still, he remained courageous and hopeful, offering fans glimpses of his spirit even in the face of adversity. He thanked those who supported him, praised the medical teams who stood by his side, and never once surrendered to bitterness. He kept fighting, kept believing, just as he had always done. For many, that bravery in the face of mortality only cemented his heroism. It wasn't just the championships or awards that made Sandberg great, it was the way he lived, the way he fought, the way he loved. As news of his passing spread, tributes poured in from across the sports world. Teammates, opponents, broadcasters, fans, each with a story, a memory, a message of gratitude. Former Cub teammates recalled the quiet man in the locker room who led by example and never demanded attention. Managers remembered his uncanny baseball instincts and unwavering focus. Young fans, now grown with families of their own, shared stories of watching Sandberg play at Wrigley with their parents, of clutching his baseball cards, of dreaming they could be just like him one day. Even beyond baseball, Sandberg's influence rippled. He was involved in community outreach, often appearing at youth clinics, fundraisers, and school programs. He saw himself not just as a former ballplayer, but as someone who could still contribute, who could use his platform for good. In his later years, he embraced his role as a mentor and guide, especially for young players trying to find their footing in a world that was far more commercialized and demanding than the one he came up in. At the time of Sandberg's death, the Cubs were playing the Brewers in a road game. The somber mood among the players was palpable as news trickled through the dugout. Many had never played with Sandberg or even met him, but all knew who he was. His story, his legacy, was woven into the very fabric of the organization. It was announced that the Cubs would honor Sandberg's memory by wearing a commemorative jersey patch for the rest of the season, a small but significant tribute to a man who meant so much to so many. And so, as fans gathered outside Wrigley Field in quiet vigil, placing flowers beneath his statue, writing messages of love and loss on homemade signs, and sharing tearful stories with strangers, it became clear that Sandberg had given more than great plays or thrilling victories. He had given people a reason to believe. A reason to hold on to tradition, to find pride in perseverance, and to understand that greatness is not always loud. Sometimes it's gentle. Sometimes it walks softly and carries a glove. Major League Baseball and the entire sports world are in mourning. Ryne Sandberg, a name synonymous with grit, passion, and excellence on the baseball diamond, has passed away at the age of 65 after a long and courageous battle with prostate cancer. The heartbreaking news was confirmed by the Chicago Cubs, the team with which Sandberg carved out his legendary Hall of Fame career and etched his name forever into the hearts of fans across generations. It was Monday when the Cubs made the somber announcement, sending a wave of shock and sadness throughout the baseball community and beyond. Their post on X, formerly Twitter, was brief but poignant, a fitting reflection of Sandberg's quiet dignity and humility. The message, though heavy, carried with it the echo of a man who was not just a player, but a symbol of dedication, resilience, and sportsmanship.